Anybody recognize that besides AC/DC? Where do we hear that?
Gary Keller song.
Yes. What a week we had last week with family reunion and getting poured into, friends. We missed you. We missed you so, so much. Glad to be back. My brain is still flowing out of my ears. I've been trying to pick up all the pieces, put it back together, and try to retain everything and make it come out in a way that I understand. I wrote 75 pages of notes. Cassie, you probably went through 5 notebooks.
I was like, that's it, Brooke? Like, I took 100 pages now.
Well, I do the thing where I bring the PDFs into my Remarkable. So like that's on top of writing all over the slide things we got. And it was incredible. And do we have a ton of stuff to share with you today? And I hope you didn't think we forgot about you last week, because we still posted in the group and sent it if you saw. So on weeks like that, if we're not here, we do not do the growth call live, but we still give you the goodies. I promise. All right. Was anybody here at family reunion? Raise your digital paw, David Heyer, if you were. Yay, now come off of mute.
Oh, that was a mistake on my part.
Trick question.
I walked right into that one.
Can you, from an agent focus aha moment, can you give the people in the growth call room who may not have been there one of your takeaways for agents?
One of my takeaways for agents, let's see, if I had to say, it would be, this is going to sound really basic. Boy, that term was used a lot. Know your numbers, right? And actually, it just so happens I have some notes in front of me of this, because we're doing a little recap of family reunion here in the Market Center. But know your numbers, narrow your lead gen focus.
I love that.
Get your numbers right. Identify timely MOFers. Everybody know what a MOFer is, right?
MOFer, make offer for immediate response.
Right. So identify timely MOFers. What's a great MOFer? Easter's coming up. What's a MOFer for an Easter event? Anybody have an idea? I don't know. Lean into your strategic partnerships, work your database, be indispensable. Be indispensable. Boy, have we talked about these things before?
Yeah, so here was my big takeaway with getting back to the basics and the things David is talking about is these are all the things we know, like, love, and trust. And why have we gotten away from them for the big shiny objects, right? How many emails did you get selling you leads or lead sources this year already? But what we learned during Shift into Overthrive is that let's narrow down our 3. Because guys, if it's not working, why are we paying for it? Why are we paying for it? Do you even know? So David, coming back to you with know your numbers, and thank you for being today's guest without even realizing you're today's guest, is do you know your return on investment for the things you're spending marketing money on? So if you're paying for Z who shall not be named, if you're spending money for all these lead aggregates, do you know your return on investment? How many people it brought into your world and how many closings you got from it or referrals? Those are big, big things to worry about. Super big things to worry about.
By the way, and I don't know your production levels on this call, but these questions are asked for top agents, and many of them sometimes don't know. So don't feel bad if you don't know, just get to know them.
You do. And you have so many tools at your fingertips. One of the greatest things that I get to do at Family Reunion or Mega Camp is I get to work at the tech booth, the command booth, and I get to speak to agents from all over the world. They're saying the same things our agents in New England say. So it's the same conversations across the board. It's just with agents that may be in Arizona or California or different places. And a lot of them still don't even realize how big and robust the command system is. Things like smart plans. Many of them did not know about 201 plus.
Not from our region, though, right?
Not from our region.
Everyone here knows about 201 plus.
I got to tell you, I was talking to one of our people from Maine, and another woman's like, "Can I listen in on this?" And she was like, "What? What?" And I was like, yes, these things exist. If you have 201 plus contacts on average, you will make 119,501 in gross commission income. We showed her the charts and we talked about it.
And you're 3 times more likely to be a capper.
Correct. That's huge. That's huge. And then today also, we welcome back someone to KW Gateway in Nashua, New Hampshire. And he was like, hey, do you guys do the growth calls? And I was like, yes, every Monday. He's like, I got kicked out of the group when I left. I was like, with reason. So he's like, let me back in the group. And he goes, Brooke, I got 3 listings from doing my growth call stuff with you and being consistent with it across the board. I am thrilled that you guys are still doing that. So just by being consistent in social media, it takes time. And a social media post is not going to get you business today. And if today's the only day you put it out and you never interact with it, it's going to take time. You're building your community. But one of the things we saw too at Family Reunion was get back to being personable, right? What have I been saying for years? Stop barfing real estate. Stop barfing real estate. People don't care until you give them a reason to care. Tiffany, are you on the call? I thought I saw you pop up and then you left my screen. You are there. Hello. What was one of your agent takeaways from Family Reunion?
Well, I think it's exactly what you said. It's the getting back to basics, building the relationships. It's all about the numbers. And what you did last year, you're probably going to have to do 1.5 times that this year as far as connections.
There was a lot.
Can I say something on it? Tiffany? What was the statistic that they gave us about 90% versus 90% of all people said that they would work with their realtor again, but only 13% actually do?
Yeah, it's 87% would work with the agent again. Only 13% do. And
why is that?
Participation. Why is that?
Yeah, why is it? Why do you think they're not calling you back, guys? Or why do you think they're not using you again?
David, you're not allowed to answer.
Not allowed to answer, David.
So I'm holding it all back.
No, yeah.
Like, I know. Karina, I see you're off mute.
Not keeping in touch.
Right?
And consistency, yeah.
And why aren't we keeping in touch?
Because we're scared.
You have a limiting belief that people don't want to hear from you.
Right.
We talk about it often in 6PP. We talk about it in a lot of the coaching things. But if you are going to get rid of a limiting belief this year and flip it, it's people are excited to hear from you and you bring value. And Kathy put it in the chat, consistency is boring and it pays off.
And if you're not bored, you're not doing your job.
Right? Like, this is not HDTV, friends. Like, if somebody told you this is like one of those shows, they are wrong. They are so, this is, first of all, I would never want to be on one of those shows. It seems like a lot of work.
I was gonna say the most consistent, big word for me today, consistent. The most consistent theme I see with like everything that we talk about in real estate is it's simple, not easy. Everything we do is simple. Like, we have so many models. Just pick one, plug in, and repeat. It's when you try to get too creative that it gets difficult. And it's not always easy. It's boring. You have to push yourself. You have to sit down and actually do the work. But if you do it, then it pays off.
I was on a call before this call and we were talking, and there's a person who's brand new to an area and literally has 45 contacts in their phone. Like, we all laugh that everybody has a lot of people in their phone. Like, mine is 2,700, right? So, but this gentleman literally had 45 people in his phone. So we started brainstorming, and this helps, if you're not at that 201, how do you get there? So how do you ask those 45 people that are in your phone, well, who do you get that does your nails? Who does your hair? Who does your landscaping? Like, how do you take the 45 and then grow? Because if one person gives you the name of 3 people, now that's 4, and it's compound, right? How do we work compound?
And it seems like we did something around this, Tiffany, and there was someone who won a contest. Like, I'm trying to think. Was it the 201.club? Is that where we did this, where we taught people thoughtfully how to get to that 201 plus?
Mm-hmm.
in fun ways. Yeah.
And it's always going to be, you're always going to have that mindset of, oh, I have to go, unless you're not me and you like to talk to people every day, 200 people a day. That's not me. And there's always an opportunity to talk to people, without asking them for something
Mhm.
and making them feel bad. Saying, who's your favorite person that does dog grooming, right? They're helping you. Everybody wants to help people.
They do. And then we're bringing value in a different way. How are you positioning yourself this year as a community leader, not a real estate leader necessarily, but a community leader? What are you doing in your area outside of real estate that when people think about your town, your neighborhoods, your locations, they think of you and no one else? Because what's happening is if we're not consistently touching them and staying in contact, the person who is going to be the one who's top of mind, even if you're the one who's dropping the Popeyes off, bringing the cookies, sending them to the client events. But if you're only doing a couple things a year and you're not consistently staying on top of those communications, they're going to go to the last person they remembered who brought value to them. So get excited about what we're doing with the 201 Plus Club. That will never leave the website. So I'll put it's the 201.club. Run through it at any point. Run through it at any point. We're going to rerun it again.
Brooke, I'm going to put in the chat, there was a bunch of information shared at Family Reunion, a ton of great resources. So we're going to put that Google Drive link in the chat for you. And then also the vision speech slides are out for everybody. So I'll put that in there as well. I think that's where we'll see that slide about the stat David was talking about. The 87% will work with you again, but only this many do. So a lot of great content. If you haven't had a chance, if you didn't go to Family Reunion or haven't had a chance to look at what's in there yet, go check out those links. I love grabbing like the things that our guest speakers say that like could be turned into an inspirational post. That's always like what stands out to me. So I'll just run through one theme I will say that I think was covered in depth at Family Reunion and you heard over and over and over again is that we are in a shifting market and it is difficult, and to get through it, you're going to have to put in more work than you have before. But if you do that, then you'll make it out the other side. So we heard that as a leader, we heard that as agents. No matter what role you're in, if you're just doing the same thing that you did last year in terms of your actions, you're going to come out with a lower amount of productivity this year. So really lean in and start to work harder and do something new or different that you haven't done in the past, and then stick to that throughout the year. But some of the cool things that I just pulled out from our I want to keep saying guest speakers, but I know keynote speakers.
Keynote, yeah.
From our keynote speakers. The grass is greener where it gets the most water. Relationships that matter are a daily practice. There's opportunity in adversity. Faith determines values, which determines standards. We can't control the external factors of a situation, but you can control how you respond. What can we do that's totally different from what we've been doing? By endurance, we conquer. Life is a team sport. Procrastination is arrogance. It means you think tomorrow is guaranteed. Not all readers are leaders, but all leaders must be readers.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let the enemy of progress be perfection. So
Tons.
we're just
Tons.
a lot of fun ones that really stood out.
Cassie, to go back to your comment, it's in the Charge the Storm slides, which I'm not sure. I don't think they're in the vision speech slides. I'll find them and get them to everybody. But in there was a slide from 2009 where when the market crashed in 2009, there was a group of business owners who decreased their marketing, decreased what they were doing. And then there was a group that either continued doing what they were doing or increased. Those that decreased lost market share and never got it back. Those that increased gained market share and never lost the market share that they gained. So these are those times, like no matter where you are in your business, whether time is your commodity or if you're in a position where you can put money into what you're doing, into the lead generation and stuff like that, just keep growing it. Don't sit on the sidelines, because sitting on the sidelines is where you're going to lose the opportunity and not gain the opportunity. It's really easy to sit on the sidelines.
It was the best family reunion I've ever been to, and I've been to a few. If you were going to do one thing today, watch the vision speech, print out the slides, and get really good at understanding that data, understanding what some of those words are. And if you need help, come to us, come to leadership. Happy to go through them with you. I know Gateway's hosting at 3:00. Like, all these market centers are hosting watch parties and replaying different things. Get involved. If you're on ALC, how are you helping your agents in the market center who weren't there understand this stuff? And then pour into what we're doing. Like, look around you. Who's someone in your world at KW who would benefit from this call, who's not here today, and invite them and be like, our home slice Brooke, she's got us. We don't even have to think. We just put this stuff out there, and we're going to get engaging posts, and then we're going to build community, and then we're going to have happy people who, when we do have to ask real estate questions, it doesn't hurt as bad. So with that being said, let's get to our.
I was just gonna ask if anyone else was
yes.
at family reunion. Do you have anything you want to share from family reunion?
Just throw your digital pop so that you come to the top and we can see you.
Well, otherwise, you can throw it in the chat while we go over our resources. You ready, Brooke?
I am so ready because I need today's first post so bad. I gotta tell you, not sleeping on a red eye, coming back, and then having to get on the road, fun stuff. It's fun. It's just fun stuff. All right, with winter full swing still, it can be tough to stay motivated and energized during these cold and dark months. I'm curious to know, what are some of your favorite ways to stay rejuvenated during the winter? Favorite exercise, a warm beverage, relaxing self-care? I'd love to hear your tips and tricks for beating the winter blues. So I love this one because a lot of people will talk about massage therapy places. They'll talk about chiro or acupuncture or who they're seeing in town. This is a great way to look at what people are posting and then reach out to them and say, hey, my community is talking about you and the services you offer. Can I share something about you and your business on my business page? So it's another way to get in front of somebody in the community. And I got to tell, my husband booked me a massage for next weekend, and I cannot wait. I need it after family reunion. And then it's March. So if you go back to the top of the calendar,
If my mouse
if your mouse would work, or you just scroll super duper fast, it will take you right to March. I can't believe it's March.
Oh, please. I was like, I have so many things to get done. Now, March 1st is right around the corner, 2 days away, 1 day away.
I can't. All right, let's click that hobbies. So it's all about hobbies in this one. With winter still in full swing, have you tried a new hobby this season? Maybe it's picking up an instrument, painting, new recipes. So if you've tried something, please drop it in the chat. I would love to know what you guys are doing. And it's a great way to interact with people and see who's doing the things you love to do. Have them share a project they're working on. Have them share something they've painted, possibly something they've created. Like, we tried.
Because like if you're feeling creative, you can always switch this up a little bit and add a picture of like a hobby that you picked up this winter or that you got back into.
What are your hobbies? Cassie, what do? You love dogs. You love helping dogs.
I always say like sociability is it's so funny because I'm really not like that outgoing of a person. I'm with Tiffany. I could hang out with people less and be okay. But like my social calendar is typically my hobby. I've actually this winter I've picked up a lot of old projects. Like I love starting a good craft and then not finishing it. So this winter I've finished I'm still working on or have finished a lot of things that I've started in the past.
That's funny. I have I've crocheted my whole life since I was 5.
I was just going to tell you my crochet story.
Yes, tell me, because I have about 18, they're called WIPs, work in progress.
Yeah.
And my husband was like, how many of these bags?
This is I don't know if anyone else can top this story. It's like super nerdy. So it's perfect for our nerd call here, but my grandma taught me how to crochet when I was probably about 8. And, I started crocheting. My first and maybe only project was, a baby blanket for my future child. And now I'm 2 months away from my first child, and I have finally 22 years later finished my blanket.
Wow.
So
At least they're not going to college like
I
mine.
did a good portion when I started. I picked it up again around like 23, 24, my roommate and I would like crochet together. And then I was like, all right, I'm having a kid. I should probably finish this.
Probably whip through this. We should probably whip through this. Tiffany, did you pick up any hobbies? I can't see you sitting there crocheting. I can't. I'm sorry.
I tried. It didn't work.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
actually, I'm a reader. So whenever I get bored, I just read.
Who else reads?
Love that.
I love to read. I am a voracious reader. Like I read in the morning, I listen to Audible in the car, and then I read before bed. Oh, and I picked up Animal Crossing, unfortunately, on Switch. So there's our newest addiction. That's not a craft, but whatever. So work with this in your community. If people are like, oh, I love this, but I never know where to go, help connect them in the community. There's always a paint night going on for charity. There's always some type of thing going on. Bring your community together and put all your people together in one place. That's what I like to do. Oh, I don't want to go to 17 places, so I'm going to make all my people come to the place I'm going to be at. That's what I like to do. And we are harping on winter one more time with this or that. So are you one of those who lives in New England and just loves winter sports? Because that is not me. I am waiting for my irises to pop to tell me it's time for spring. So this or that Thursday, brought to you by New England's Odd Weather, is, are you ready for spring or do you want more winter? Put it in the comments, please. I need to know. I need to know where you are.
For this post, right in between 2 storms. I know at least.
Right?
Anyways.
Yeah. I am July, please. I am so not a cold person. I'm not a cold person. I've never been a cold person. Like,
I will say, when I tried skiing a few years ago, I understood that, like, okay, if you actually have a winter activity that you do, winter is way more enjoyable.
yes. Well,
If you don't like the cold, it is hard to get into those winter activities.
so Denise put up flip-flops and sunshine, and I got to tell you, our regional productivity coach enjoys flip-flops year round. It doesn't matter what the weather is. That's her cray.
She's
Yeah.
like, I'm used to this cold weather. This is not.
Yeah. Yeah. It's mud season up there. So she's got her mud flops on.
Wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yes. Oh, so that's our growth call content. And now I flipped the script on a giveaway and I asked Cassie to do something really cool for you guys. Cassie, do you want to tell them what I begged you to give them this week as a giveaway?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sure even if you didn't go to family reunion, all of your realtor friends that were there were posting about the incredible Ed Milet, who was our keynote speaker for family reunion. He was amazing. I know everybody that walked away from that I've talked to absolutely loved his keynote speech. So in spirit of him, we are giving away his book today. So we'll get that directly to you.
Yes. The Power of One More.
Yes.
Okay.
So today's winner goes out to Judy McCann. Judy, are you on the call?
Judy, I see Judy. Awesome. So
Awesome. Thank
Hi.
you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm excited to get this book to you. It was quite a moment to be there, to watch all the people around you, like open mouth sob crying, like ugly crying. I've never seen so many ugly crying in one spot at a professional thing. People were, we laughed, but it was like, I was like, are you okay? To a couple, I'm like, I'm crying at the tech booth watching it remotely. And they were like, no, this guy's talking to me. And everybody who walked around and we're talking, they're like, he's talking to me. Everybody said that this year. And I thought that was,
Yeah, that was
Wow,
his
that's
thing, right?
awesome.
Like he was like, when you're talking to a group, everybody there should feel like you're talking specifically to them. And he definitely made all of us feel like that.
yeah, you could hear a pin drop in the convention center. So there was all these satellite places where you could watch it as well. Nobody was talking at the booth. We were all watching on the screen. It was an insane moment. It's also got a great YouTube channel and some podcasts. So congratulations, Judy. Enjoy that book.
Thank you. I will. I'm sure I will. Great.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
No ugly crying if you're listening to the Audible and driving. Okay. That's just not safe.
Judy, I'll connect with you after the call to get you the book. Anyone else that wants to check out his book, I'm going to put that link in the chat there as well with the resources. So
Awesome. All right.
Brooke,
Well,
the rest of
stay
the call is yours.
on the call. What we're going to do is Cassie's going to help me pause and restart the cloud recording because I can't find it with the closed captioning on. It's hiding a whole bunch.